Harvest means stubbles means pigeons. It's a special time in the pigeon shooter's calendar. Even though you may not be protecting the rape crop, as that's already gone, you are protecting standing crops next door. In Andy's case, it's the wheat, which he has tried to do something about, but it was hard graft. Today should be much easier.
I know we're shooting on the stubbles and people say, oh, it's not crop protection, it's not crop protection. But the thing is, we've got 70 acres of wheat there. We've had 2,000 pigeons feeding on it. I had a little go last week shooting them, but I hate shooting them in standing wheat. It was hard work but good fun. I was just shooting one, coming down, dog was picking it. And where I was, it was a little bit thin, and all I did was just put a flapper just above the crop, and they were just coming to it, and it was quite nice. I could have shot 300-400, no trouble at all. Every pigeon I shoot on here today, those pigeons aren't going to be feeding on my wheat over the next 2-3 weeks before I cut it. But we can pick every bird. That's the thing. I can shoot stuff 50-60 yards out, drop it and pick it, no trouble at all.
We both sometimes have that situation where we're watching social media and go, oh, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
What is it that people have got to make sure that they are doing if they're shooting on stubbles?
If I had wheat stubbles now and the pigeons on wheat stubbles, I'd leave them there. All the time they're on there, they're not doing me any harm. But there again, it's a time to get on top of the numbers. I'm a farmer, so it's in my best interest to shoot as many as I can today, and that's what I intend to do.
I mean, should we change the way we describe it? If someone says, I've just shot these on the stubbles.
You just got to say the reason I've shot on this stubble because they're going to a bean field behind me, or I've shot them on this stubble because they're going to a standing wheat. You've got to justify why you're doing it. It's no good just putting it on there and saying, oh, I just shot 300 pigeons on a bit of wheat stubble. You've got to justify why you're shooting them on that wheat stubble, because you can't shoot them going to the standing wheat behind you. Or you can, but you never pick them. Simple as.
As Andy suggests, the volume of birds here is impressive. To help maximise his chances of reducing the numbers, he has placed friends and family across the farm in isolation bubbles, also known as pigeon hides. Rob and Jean Hales have brought him a present, as last year he kept Rosa hydrated and not himself.
Thanks, Jean. Thanks, Rob.
Now, one issue with shooting summer pigeons is with the dead birds going off in the heat, so it's best to plan ahead.
What you don't want to do, you don't want to stack them on top of each other. And it's a big no-no. Otherwise the bottom ones just heat up, cook, and then they start cooking. And they're not long before they're going green, and it taints the meat. But no, it's just keep them spread out really. Keep them spread out so that the air can get between them, but keep them in the shade.
Would you even consider sort of bringing a sheet out or anything to put over them, stop the flies getting to them?
There is that. Mesh, if anything, so that the air can still get to them. Put a sheet over top of them and the heat will be in there, it just condensate and they start to cook.
What about a hide net?
Yeah, could do, yeah. Some of these hide nets, like this one here, is mesh. The flies won't get through it, so that'd be ideal. Just put a net over the top of them. So, but out in the middle of the field, you don't get quite so many flies out here. I don't know why, but the flies don't seem to. Yeah, they're pigeons, mate.
Shoot one.
Okay. I know that's what we're here to do.
It's not often Andy has a counter, but with 3 other active hides around the place, everyone is keen to find out how everyone else is doing.
Very simple sort of pattern you have.
Yeah, it is. I haven't got many birds out at the moment. I've got half a dozen up on cradles. I've got auto bouncer. Flapper, that's all I've got at the moment. I put a few more over that bank now, they tend to be going through that way a bit, just try and pull them round. I haven't got a rotary going at the moment. I'm going to see how things go. I'll probably put a rotary up in a bit, maybe. I might just tuck that round the corner, just so it pulls them round to come to it. I might just do that later on when I get a few more birds, but I want to keep it as simple as possible, really.
The birds are here, but only showing a passing interest. They know that the rapeseed on the floor is germinating, and they want the wheat buffet instead. So, what are the Woodies' crop of the pops?
So if you're going to open a restaurant for pigeons,
yeah,
what would be on the menu? Give me the sort of the favourite dishes that they'd go for. What was the first thing they'd go for?
Well, you've got oilseed rape. It's like black caviar to them. They love that. Then you move on to peas, beans. They go mental for soybeans. Tiny little things. They absolutely love those.
Pulses comes after.
Yeah, pulses comes after rape. Then you get onto your wheats and your barley, any of the cereals. And acorns is another one. Beech nuts is another one.
We were going to do pears last year, weren't we?
Yeah, they get on pears. Yeah, they love the fruits, especially in the winter. They tend to get on the pears a bit. Any that are dropped in that haven't been picked, they're crazy. I've had them with snails in their crops. I've had them with worms in their crops. They fill their crop twice a day when they're on wheat. You get 1,000, 2,000 pigeons on a field of wheat. They're not long making a bit of damage. That's why we need to shoot them how we're shooting them now.
Andy finishes the day with 240 birds. It's just about what he had expected. Collectively, the day was over 700 picked and heading to the game dealer.